Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I hope you guys had a great weekend. Mine was hectic as all hell, but what's new? I have young children, so it was what it was, but I hope you guys had a good one. So today is I hauled it, but did I like it? And we are not going to be talking about the Becca or Lauralee palettes in this I hauled it. That will be in 2 weeks from now. I really want to give them a good go and a good review so I can come on here and really give you guys an in-depth review. In-depth review. But I really want to be able to give you guys a full detailed review and, you know, the good, the bad, everything that is included in both palettes. There is no bias there at all. But today I have some awesome products to talk to you guys about as well. So if you're interested in seeing what I think about these products, then just stay tuned and we'll get right into it. I also wanted to let you guys know if you are interested in seeing this makeup look and how to do it, or just at least watching me attempt to do it. I do have a get ready with me on this look using the Lauralee palette and the Jaclyn Hill palette. And I don't know when it'll be up, probably Wednesday or Friday, one of those days, but it will be this week if you guys are interested in that. Now the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about is brushes, and I hauled these a while back. The company actually gave these to me for free to review because I was going to become an affiliate with them. I am no longer doing that, the affiliation, just because of my take on these brushes, but I did end up getting these 3 brushes here. This first one is their 955 stippling brush, and then there is the 959, and I believe this is just a powder brush. It doesn't say on it at all what it is. And then the last one is just their 985, and this is like a travel stippling blush brush. So I got these 3 brushes to review from them, and I really liked this one at first, and now I'm not really feeling it, to the point where I really don't want to be affiliated with them just because I do not like the quality of their brushes, or at least this one. Now with this one, I really liked it right away just because it was super soft. It really does apply powder very nicely. And it started to shed. You know, it started to shed a little bit. And shedding is not a problem for me. You know, all brushes really tend to shed. But this one was unreal. I washed it and the shedding stopped for a little while. So I thought that was it, and that's fine. You know, that happens. But then it started shedding even worse and would not stop shedding. Every time I use this, I'm taking like pieces of the brush out of my mouth, off my face, out of my eyes, out of my hair. It's getting so bad that I'm just waiting for it to fall apart. I mean, I can grab it and literally there's just hair. I mean, you guys, there's just tons of it, just hanging out everywhere. And this happens every time that I use it, if I wash it. I mean, it's pretty bad, and I'm waiting for it to fall apart, honestly. So I was a little taken aback by it, and I just stopped using it because it was such a pain. Every time I used it, it just was all over my face, and I just was not down for that. So my favorite powder brush that I use is the Mikasa powder brush. This baby, this is like half the size of my face. It does not shed at all, and I absolutely love it. You can definitely tell the difference between these 2 brushes, but I thought this one would be like a little bit more finely packed to get like really into there and set my foundation and stuff. This is me today. This is my Monday. This is just what's happening. But I just really ended up not liking this at all. And then the other 2 are stippling brushes, which I don't use stippling brushes very much. Now this one is okay. It's not bad. The stippling brushes don't shed. As far as I can see from using these, they don't shed. I've washed them. There was no shedding, no like, it didn't change its shape, which is actually something that this did do as well. This one actually changed its shape the moment that I washed it. It was a lot thinner up here, and then the moment I washed it, it kind of just fell like a dead flower. So it might be like a difference between the lines, because they have a whole different array of lines on their website. But the stippling ones, they're okay, but they're a little bit straw-like, a little bit hard. So they're not as like the Makeup Forever one I have is so fluffy and soft, and this one just really isn't. So it's kind of hard to use, and I feel like it scrapes against my skin. And this one is even worse. Now this is their traveling one, and it's supposed to be a stippling blush brush, which I've never had. I was really interested in just because I've never even heard of a stippling blush brush. But this is literally like straw. It's very pokey, very dry feeling. And when you try to put your blush on with it, it just kind of scrapes against your cheek. And then I notice a lot of blotchiness. So I don't really care for these. Not for the price, and not when you can get Mikasa brushes, and they are just, the quality is just so much better. So I'm a little sad about it just because I was really interested in being affiliated with them. I know a couple of people who are affiliated with them, but I can't. Not with the shedding, the severe shedding, and the harshness of the stippling brushes. I'm just a little turned off from them, so I guess I will stick with my Mikasa and my Real Techniques. Oh, and my e.l.f. Alright, moving on, I want to talk to you guys about the Wet n Wild blushes that I recently got. Now, these I got at Five Below, and so obviously they were $5 and under. I will shoot up the price over here, but they're not very much at all, and you do get a lot in the pan, which was really, really nice. Now, I was told by a bunch of you guys that these blushes are reformulated and repackaged from the old Wet n Wild blushes. I never tried the old Wet n Wild blushes, so I was kind of, I can't really give you guys my full opinion on the difference between that quality versus this quality, but I can tell you how I feel about these. So like I said, I have 4 out of the collection, and I have Apricot in the middle, which is kind of like a darker muted kind of peach, and then I have Rose Champagne, which I don't even know what to call this color. I mean, it looks like a brown almost, but it does have like a hint of pink in there, just a hint. And then I have Pearlescent Pink, which is a really, really pretty kind of sparkly pink. And then I have Mellow Wine, which is a really dark kind of reddish mauvey rosy color, which I absolutely love the color of this one. Now, when it comes to pigmentation on these blushes, I would say that these two, the Apricot in the middle and the Rose Champagne, the Apricot in the middle and the Rose Champagne have the least pigmentation to them, but they are buildable. They also have more of a sheen than they do a pigment. So, I mean, the Rose Champagne, I could almost use as a highlight. It's so light. So, I don't know really how much I like these, but on the cheeks, they do have a different kind of tone. They become a little bit more pigmented, and you can build these up. But I would have to say that these two are probably my least favorite out of what I have. But they are still really, really pretty, and they do have kind of like a pearlescence to them, almost like the Pearlescent Pink. Only the Pearlescent Pink has more of a glitter to them, which I thought was kind of funny. So this is the Pearlescent Pink, this is the Mellow Wine. I have to say my favorite out of all of these is Mellow Wine. These two here, though, as they are the most pigmented, they also are the most powdery. So when you put your brush in there, they kick off a lot of product, and you have to tap off your brush a lot, because if you go in right away after putting your brush into these pans, you are going to be clown face. But for the most part, they blend out amazingly for being as cheap as they are, for being Wet n Wild. They work amazingly. You can either build them up or go very, very light on them. I really don't like the powderiness of them. I mean, it's just, it falls everywhere. The moment you touch it, it just falls, and that's a little annoying. But for what they are, you guys, they work so, so well. They do not last that long, but I mean, it's Wet n Wild, you guys. You can't expect too much from them. The pigmentation and just how easy they blend, right there, it makes it worth it to me. But I do have to reapply these probably 2-3 times a day to keep the pigment there, and that's with using a really good primer and a good setting spray. So that's definitely something to think about. I mean, if I really had to tell you guys, you know, one that I would recommend to get, I would definitely say get Mellow Wine, because it's just so beautiful. It's so pigmented, or Pearlescent Pink. The other ones, if you like a light cheek, you guys, if you like a light cheek, you don't want anything, you know, you want a more natural look, then you can go with the other two. But they're more my skin tone, you know, my skin tone color, and I really have to build them up to get any kind of color at all. So while I do find these completely worth it, they are amazing blushes for the price. Some of them are hit and miss, and some of them I can't keep my fingers out of. So leave me a comment down below. Let me know which ones are your guys' favorites, because I know that a lot of you had some really awesome opinions on these. I mean, I got most of them on your guys' recommendations. I don't regret any of these. I do like them all, just some I like a little bit more than others, and the wear time is not as good as you would get with a different kind of blush like Milani or something like that. So that is definitely something to think about, but these are a really good find and a really good choice if you are on a budget. Alright, moving on, I want to talk about the Profusion Studio Highlight Palette, and I got this at Five Below as well. I just absolutely immediately fell in love with this palette just because it's just a whole bunch of highlighters in different tones. You know, it goes from like a really light champagne color to more gold to more for darker skin tones, but it's like a peach and a more bronze kind of highlight, but they all are highlights. Now, when I hauled this, I had a lot of people either say it was amazing, one of the best products they have, and then I had other people say it's not one of their best. Now, I have to say that I only really use 3 out of 6 of these shades, and that's mostly the lighter shades just because that's what fits my skin tone. But I think that this is absolutely amazing for how much it is. I was really shocked by it. I did use it in a get ready with me, so I will leave that down below if you guys want to see it in use. But I think for being Profusion, which is a very, very cheap makeup brand, you can find it at the dollar store, you know, you can find it at places like Five Below. I think that it performs amazingly. The reflex and the highlight is one that most people are looking for these days. It's the bright see from the sky kind of highlight, which I really like that. And if you use it wet or use a cream underneath it and then apply it on top of it, you are going to get the most amazing highlight ever. And then if you also use them dry, you can use it as a brow bone highlight. You can use it even on like your shoulders and just give yourself a really nice glow in the summer. I mean, there are so many uses for this, especially if you get a tan. You can use the darker sides on your actual skin, you know, on your body. And it's just really, really nice. So I think this is like the most amazing deal ever. I was actually really shocked. This is something that I use almost every single day, or at least I did until I got the Becca palette. And then I'm just like, you know, going over there because the highlight on that sucker is real. But this is, for what it is amazing, you guys. I would highly recommend picking it up if you can. I was actually thinking about doing like a Five Below giveaway along with the Stila stuff if I could still find it. I don't know if it's still in stock at TJ Maxx, but I was thinking about doing that. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you guys would be interested in like a giveaway with the Five Below products, the Wet n Wild products, and then the Stila stuff from TJ Maxx if I can find it. But let me know if that's something you guys are interested in. But overall, you guys, amazing deal. I think they just perform perfectly, and especially for what they are. So if you are around a Five Below or a Profusion store or anywhere where you can get this, highly recommend getting this. It's amazing for what it is. Alright, and the last things that I want to talk to you guys about today are the things that I got from Estee Edit. Now, I ended up getting the edgiest Up and Out double mascara, and then I ended up getting the blackest liner from them. So I'm going to start with the blackest liner. This did not work for me whatsoever at all, and I wasn't surprised. I have to say that. I wasn't surprised because it is a huge chunky felt tip eyeliner, and I don't do good with the skinny felt tip liners, so this did not work at all for me. I made such a mess trying, and I tried so hard to use this, you guys. It wasn't working. The tip is not fine enough on it for me to actually get a point. It's very movable once you actually touch the skin. It is really dark. Really, really dark, you guys, and it stays all day, and it does dry down to be perfectly matte, and it does dry down very quickly. So if you are someone who can work with a felt tip and you really like them, you're gonna love this. But not me. I'm not a felt tip girl. This did not work for me. I ended up making such a mess because my eyes are small. I have hooded eyes, so when I do a wing liner or I line my eyes, I really need something that is very precise and very small, and that's why I use the paintbrush tip ones, is because they can get right up close to my eyelash and just keep that straight line. This was bad. It was like, it kind of jumped across my eyelid, and then if I tried to do a wing with it, it was a mess. It didn't work. It wasn't precise enough. I needed to be able to make a thinner line than this, and that's as thin as it gave me. The tip of it is really movable at the end, so this didn't work. I mean, if you guys can use a felt tip, you guys would love this. Absolutely love this because it's very black, it dries very quickly, and it does last all day. It's just, if you're like me and you have hooded eyes or small eyes, or you're just not very good at winged liner, this is not going to be your friend at all. Alright, and the mascara. Now, the mascara has one side that has volume and the other side that has lift. Now, I like to use the lift first, which is just a really short, spiky kind of wand. It's a little crazy looking, but it does its job. It lifts your lashes straight up. And then the volume is pretty good itself. It's just like a normal kind of wand, nothing too special. The wands on these are very kind of short, which I like because like I said, I have small eyes and I need small tools to work with my small eyes. So this works really, really well. These work really well together. My only issue with this is taking it off. Taking this mascara off is like doomsday. It's so hard to take it off, and I also noticed that once I'm taking it off, and I've tried it with wipes, I've tried it with just warm water and soap, I've tried it with my micellar water, I've tried this so many ways with a cleansing oil, I've tried it so many ways, and I've noticed how bad my eyes cloud up when I take this off because it goes everywhere. Like I'll have raccoon eyes, like serious raccoon eyes no matter what I do to take this off with, and then my eyes cloud up really, really bad. So it's not something that I will choose over my other mascaras just because it clouds my eyes up, and it actually scares me a little bit because it lasts for a little while when it does that, and it scares the crap out of me. But for performance, Very Black lasts all day. It doesn't flake down. I mean, it really does what it's made for. It lifts and makes your eyelashes very voluminous, but taking it off scares me, and sometimes it's just not worth it. It's not worth it, like the nightmare I have to go through to take it off. So I was a little bummed about the fact that these two products didn't work out for me exactly how I wanted them to, but I do like the mascara. It's just a little torturous to take off. This liner didn't work for me whatsoever in any way, but I was a little bummed about that. But I've heard a lot of people say that the Estee Edit line isn't really as amazing as people are hyping them up to be unless you work with the highlighters, and then there was something else that was supposed to be really, really good from them, but I didn't get those. I only got these two products, so that's all I can really speak about today. So that is everything that I wanted to talk about in this I Hauled It But Did I Like It. I hope that this was somewhat informative for you. I don't know, some of these were just not for me, and other ones really, really shocked me. So if you guys have tried any of these products or you have any kind of opinions on any of them, leave me a comment down below and let me know what you guys think of them. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe on your way out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!